Welcome back, ladies and gents, after we had that little excursion down an actual tangent here in the path for the Intel Extreme Masters. And now we're going to get back on schedule. We're going to have Maru versus TY. I still have Pig. I still have Tasteless here at the desk with me, the battle station of the Intel Extreme.
Only the best for you, my friend.
We'd never leave.
We had to bring out the big guns this time around.
Thank you very much. I know, we had to swap some things
before we
around,
throw it to the
that's
other
how it is.
casters to cast the game. So,
So looking at this, Maru going up against TY. A big match. One of these two will pretty much guarantee themselves advancement, either, you know, depending on how the rest of the results go on. It might not be first or second, etc., but they're guaranteeing advancement if they win this one. So a big deal here for Maru and TY.
yeah, and I think this is going to be the hardest match for both of them in this group. I mean, obviously, we always consider Innovation a great player, but yep. These are possibly on any given day the two best Terrans in the world. These guys are phenomenal, right? Maru's
yep.
like the last Terran alive in the GSL. And then TY, he won this tournament a year ago.
Oh,
what is it called? Oh, Intel Extreme Masters.
That's the one.
In this city. So, obviously, he wants to reclaim that throne again. But this is just going to be an awesome TVT.
Yeah.
Reclaim, just kind of hold on to it here, Pig.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he's the reigning champion,
yes.
right? He's looking to come back and win a ton of money, even more. This year, around $150,000 for first place is awesome. And
yep.
TY's a great player. And if you want to contrast these styles, you kind of think of TY as precision, right? He's kind of patient. He plans out his builds. He's unmatched, unparalleled in the late game. We saw it earlier versus Gumiho on that game we hopped into where he was way behind. He came back with sick EMPs and Ravens and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think Maru, on the other side, he's speed. You know, he's aggression, he's tactics, right? So it's really cool when these two guys clash.
Sometimes that works, though, and sometimes that doesn't work. I think when I look at Maru, he's a guy that didn't even qualify for the qualifiers. When it comes to the Korean qualifiers, Trident for #1, didn't qualify for the qualifier. #2, didn't qualify for the qualifier. So, and then comes here in the open bracket and then has an amazing little run against Stats, especially second place last time here. So there's some up and down situations for Maru, I feel.
No, he's on New Game Plus mode.
Oh, okay.
He's going to beat the game the hardest way. He's going to win the tournament in the most difficult fashion possible.
Right, I see. So now at least he's starting with all the equipment from his original game.
That's right. But everything's even harder now.
Right, okay.
That's right. This is really just a big Maru speedrun of the Intel Extreme Masters.
I'm glad we've clarified that. Yeah. What do you think, Pig, about Maru's kind of nature in this game?
You know, yeah, we talk about his aggression and everything, but you did mention, you know, he didn't make it through the qualifiers, right? And that's just Maru, right? A little bit hot and cold. He's won championships and he's had this career where he's sometimes one of the very best, if not the best player for a week or two or a month.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, very rarely does he repeat that. We haven't seen him go on any sort of dominant streak similar to, say, an Innovation or, you know, maybe a Sue or someone like this who keeps making finals back to back and back. But Maru, so far, it looks like this is one of those peaks that he has in his career where he just looks unstoppable for one day or 1 week.
Some of the other matches that we're going to have simultaneously while this one goes on is Showtime versus Special. That's going to be going on, which is actually an important match between those two at least, to see who can kind of gain potentially a little bit of momentum going into the last series. And then Gumiho versus Dia as well. Who's covering what? I think you're on Gumiho Dia right now.
I'm in the Special game. I haven't it hasn't started yet, but I will be there.
Right. Okay. So you'll give us updates through that throughout things going on.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting a few more minutes here before we actually get into this game. Did you want to say something big?
I mean, Dia versus Gumiho is going to be a little bit aggressive. I mean, if we've got a second, we can talk about it because I started up, and we could even hop into game really quickly here on my laptop.
We can if you want.
Gumiho is actually doing a proxy Marauder play, so we could maybe show the audience a glimpse of that, which would be really cool. It's Neon Violet Square, it's game 1, and Gumiho is like, you know what would be cool? Actually, it's a... It might even be a siege tank push, actually, like a classic 1-1-1. I'm not sure. I'm not going to predict it. These proxy plays are always changing cool. What we know is, of course, there have been some cool proxies, especially on this map. We saw, was it Seoul took down some awesome games in the open qualifiers as well.
What was seen in the middle then? Did he just kind of push the probe back from scouting the main, or did it all go all the way to the main?
Looks like
Okay,
Leigh.
it did. So it knows that there is something crazy
something's
going
up.
on. Yeah.
Got a bit of glare on my
Trouble
screen,
be
so I
coming.
couldn't quite see that. And
Pause, please.
PP!
he's like, I need to think through the response to my strategy.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, so we can hop back out now, but that game is going to be ramping up the action. We'll bring back another update.
Yeah.
And of course, if the series ends quickly, I'll make sure I save the nice battles and show the highlights off here.
Well, I mean, if you look at the position that both Gumiho and Dia are in, around that 3rd, 4th spot right now in the group, that's an extremely important series for those two, trying to battle for potentially that 3rd place, trying to move up into 2nd, etc.
That's often the most exciting part, I think, in this tournament, is it's
Right.
those players who are like on the cusp there.
Yeah.
And this is the point where you're like, you start running out of matches. We love this format because it's not just a standard, GSL group stage where it's like, okay, you lose a best of 3, you lose another one, you're gone.
Yep.
In this case, it's like, no, you get 5 sets no matter what. You can have a slow start to the day and you can still make it up. But as we get further and further, the players are like, I've only got 3 series left. I've only got 2 series left.
Yeah.
It needs to start making it matter more and more.
But there's going to be a lot of pressure on those two, Tasteless, going into this situation now.
Absolutely. But I think it's something they've, of course, dealt with a lot here.
Yeah.
This is such a unique tournament because it is just such a marathon. I mean, you have to have, you can't just be really good at StarCraft and get deep. You have to have this degree of stamina that is just profound.
Yep.
I mean, even as a caster, I'm not even casting the whole time. I mean, these are a lot of games. These are long days.
Yeah.
And these guys are going game after game after game. So the pressure's high. I think these two guys are two of the best people at this format, and they've definitely proven that with previous results, especially TY. But yeah, you're not wrong. The pressure is on.
Is this group shaped up how you thought it was going to so far?
Yeah, I would say overall. I mean, what about you, Pig? I mean, I don't think that anything's
I think the big
super
surprise
additive.
for me has been Special. I think that's like
Yeah.
the one. Everything else is kind of what we were expecting. Deer, I guess, has been performing a little bit better than we expected.
Okay.
I think Special has had a really rough start to the day, and he's been getting better. It feels like he's warming up, He took Maru to a close series, but it's Maru. Maru's destroying the group right now. It's a shame that he couldn't warm up maybe against Maru or TY, one of these really hard opponents. So other than that, I think it is going really well. Quick update, by the way. Gumiho committed with Concussive Shell Marauders and a Cyclone.
Nice.
Deer was like, I've got root units on top of my ramp. I'm on 1 base. Just crush the pressure, and a quick GG out from Gumiho. So Deer continuing to impress us and get some surprising victories.
Very good stuff there by Dia, taking that first map. And again, not only does every series matter, but every map matters as well. But now, thank you very much, gents. I'll check in with your series in a moment, as, of course, we are ready for our next series. And this is an important one, as Maru and TY go head-to-head.
This is the series of the group Artosis. We have got ourselves a TVT between these two guys who have exactly the same score at the moment in the group. One of these guys, whoever wins this series, is very, very much looking in contention for first place.
Yes, you're quite right about that. Of course, we'll see how Deer does against Gumiho. It seems right now like one of these two, or Deer, will likely end up winning the group. Of course, if you get first place in the group, you go to the round of 8.
Yeah.
So that's a gigantic deal. And of course, whoever wins here is going to get out of the group, but seedings won't be completely decided until the end.
If you guys that are following along at home, if you have the brackets open, you'll be able to see it for yourself. But if you don't, the difference between the round of 12 and the round of 8 is $5,000.
What?
So the round of 8 is $5,000 more
God, I
than
wish
the
I
round
was
of
a
12.
round of 8 StarCraft 2 pro gamer, man.
Me
Whoa.
too. Me too. So that actually, first place in this group matters a ton.
Yes.
And this series is going to be spelling a lot of the story of this Group A, which is entering its twilight phases. getting towards the end here. I felt like we were moving with Maru's screen there as he was adjusting it. It was a kind of a vertigo effect there.
Dude, he's such a strong Terran that when he like yanks on his monitor, the whole Earth shakes and moves, as you can see.
Yeah, when he does a push-up on the ground, the Earth's going down and up, not Maru.
Of course. Why do you think there's tides? The moon? Did someone trick you into that? No. It's push-ups from top Korean pro gamers.
Yeah, you can't explain that. We are going into a TVT. These two guys on a tear. One of them has to be stopped. And we will see if TY or Maru comes out on top. But first of all, let's introduce our Jin Air Green Wings Terran. This is Maru!
Who, by the way, I saw an SCV going across the map.
He's being a cheeky boy. And in the top right from Splice, this is TY!
Dude, this is exciting. Maru definitely mixes in a lot of proxy double racks Reaper. I've already seen this today against Gumiho. Okay, so the one thing about this that I would be worried about is when you're a Terran player, so you must remember there was a little brief period of time where double Proxy X Reaper was rampant on the ladder, right?
That was what TVT was for a very long time, yes.
Well, TY is the Korean pro that actually kind of started to solve it by making 2 Reapers and keeping them at home. Yeah. And that was like the beginning of the downfall of this strategy, but it's come back strong. The thing is, if there is a Terran who will stop this, and this is such a trite old thing to say, if there's someone who can do it, it's this guy. No, it actually is, because he's actually the guy that solved it when it was popular.
Literally the guy that solved it.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, it wasn't just the 2 Reapers. It's like you get a Hellion out as well, or, you know, if you really want to take a gamble, that Cyclone really shuts it down, but it takes such a long time to build. TY just has the 1 gas here, so it just looks like he wants to gun for a, you know, a Reaper expansion. But, I mean, Maru's going to put the aggressive pants on here. We'll see what he can get done. Both barracks is done now. First Reaper is on the way. TY is going to come and scout and go, uh-oh, maybe not, well, see if he doesn't drop the CC or not. Yeah, he sees nothing, and he's going to just pull back in the main. No cancel, doesn't lose that 100 minerals. And TY is reacting as well as you possibly can so far.
Yeah, TY in good shape. To not have started the command center is such a big deal. Look at this. He's even getting his second gas. This is some great flexibility. His first Reaper is about to pop out. All right, we're going to first-person view here of TY, trying to defend as best he can. Great job, bringing 3 SCVs surrounding the SCV, and now he has high ground advantage with this Reaper. I believe there's a Reaper building in his other barracks as well.
And I love this second depot location as well, to make sure that the Reaper cannot jump up this path of the rat. There is a jump-up spot on the left of the main, but TY's got a wall off there as well. Ooh, a little bit of miscontrol there from TY, losing one of his units. Maru's actually broken through here. TY's Hellion's going to be quite a way away. He's going to try and proxy a starport on the back of this, but meanwhile TY looks like he might be taking a bit of SCV damage.
Oh my god, both those Reapers getting into the deep red, so definitely a big deal. This could be a killing blow by Maru, just slight mismicro from TY. It started so well, but now he's in, look at this.
He had all the tools, but just some execution issues there for TY. And now Maru with four Reapers in the main. I don't even care that he has a Hellion. Maru can do so much more damage.
Oh man, and you see that damage truly piling up right now. It looks like TY might just fall immediately in this game. Yeah. Down goes that Hellion.
That's too much. GG.
Wow, wow.
Sometimes it just looks like that. In fact, you know what? It's been happening a lot today.
Yeah.
A lot of TVDs have just ended to the first 2 Reapers.
Ooh. I tell you, man, like his initial defense was so good surrounding that SCV, killing it off. He did pull back 1 SCV, kept 2 there with his Reaper. He popped out actually a Marine instead of a second Reaper that I was talking about before. But I mean, it's TY, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And both those Reapers got down really red. One was definitely one shot from anything from death, and the other one might have been as well. So, I mean, that was a fast and furious game. But Maru picking up that map, what a good spot to be in.
Yeah, a really fantastic micro. It was all about the execution there. Maru executing a little bit better than TY. I do question the Marine switch over there for TY. I just feel like Reapers are just a lot safer, but maybe trying to cut a corner a little bit too closely there. It's hard to say. TY obviously a much better Terran player than I or you or most of us will ever be. So I have faith in his decision making. I also have faith that he's able to tie this one up. Maru is looking pretty great, but he has lost a map in a TVT, so unlike TY, who's only taken a map down to Deer, he's been looking pretty fantastic in his TVTs.
Well, to be honest, this matchup is just so close anyways. If you ask me the best 3 TVT players in the world, every time, and I'm not just saying this again, I mean, the thing is we keep commentating the same players, but TY, Maru, and Innovation for me, Maynarde are by far the best TVT players. So
yeah,
this matchup, this could be a finals. This was a finals WESG.
That's right, which ended up being TY with a 4-3 victory and just a casual $200,000. And the top left here from Splice, currently down in the series. This is TY. And with a very surgical execution in game number 1, getting himself a point on the board, this is Janair Greenwings, Maru.
Such a good, strong first game victory there. Maru has to be feeling fantastic about this. You know, if you just proxy your double barracks, you get that win like almost instantaneously.
Yeah.
Feels good, man.
He's on, it does feel good, man. He's on match point and he's only been playing for like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So like it's a pretty good place to be, very comfortable for him.
Certainly. And the thing is, TY almost held that. And that proxy starport, by the way, is so strong. He flies a Liberator into your main base and it's like, hey, guess who loses? It's you! So, I mean, that was Razor's Edge, really, even though it ended quickly and abruptly. That could have gone the other way. Yeah, I'm hoping that we have a nice close one here as well.
Well, TY going second gas here, so he is going to be shooting up that tech tree as quickly as possible. Maru doing the same thing back at home. So, mirrored builds so far for both players. Obviously, everyone's barracks are in their main at the moment, so this game should go a little bit longer. Maru going out for a scout with his first SCVD to see what is up. And yeah, like I said, very, very close in builds here.
Just a slightly interesting thing. I saw like a Marine pop on for TY, cancel into a factory, into a Reaper. So looks like he's decided just a little bit quicker on that tech. Totally fine.
I think, yeah, faster factory is a little bit safer. So I don't blame TY at all for doing that, considering how game 1 went.
Well, you know, as the game gets a little bit later on, like as we get very late game, it's hard to kill TY. Like when he actually gets a few units under his belt and he has like sensor towers up, he gets some macro going, he has enough units to have a defender's advantage, that's where he becomes really deadly. But I mean, Maru is very good at that stage of the game as well, but he is a slightly more aggressive player, as you say.
Small difference here is Maru SCV scouted while TY did not. So he's actually just confident in his ability to hold whatever comes at him with what he's chosen here in this build order. So, you know, one worker mining difference basically is what it means. A slight edge there.
And now the builds are going to deviate a bit. The faster command center here for TY, once again showing the fact that he really does like to play that longer game, but the starport coming up immediately for Maru, probably into some Banshee play.
Yeah, he is going for that tech lab. Banshees have found their way back into TVT. In fact, sometimes Raven's first has been showing its way into TVT, kind of like the pre-4.0 17 gas builds for Terran. They're a little bit more one-basey. But of course, if you're going for a fast starport like TY is, you have the tools needed to stop a Banshee.
Ooh, first volley going off right there for Maru, a really big deal.
It certainly is. These Reapers of TY are damaged. Maru's are still very high in hit points. In fact, they're back to full hit points, delaying this command center of TY. And TY has to sit here with his tail between his legs, wait for his Reapers to heal up before he goes down there.
Yeah, he's going to come down now and fight this once again. We'll see if he can get that first volley or maybe a grenade off.
Like I said,
SCV as well.
Raven first here for TY, coming back in the meta. The special does it as well. And Cloak Banshee has predicted here for Maru. A little bit of a scuffle here, but Maru's bringing a Cyclone in with this. TY is trying to get a Raven up. That's 200 gas Artosis.
Yeah, it really is. Now, look, there's a couple Hellions popping out, so if he can actually kill off the Reapers and Hellion quickly enough, he can still deal with the Cyclone, but that Cyclone putting out a lot of damage.
It certainly is, but TY is chasing down these Hellions, and he's just going to circumnavigate that Cyclone. His damage output in this army is not so great. The Cyclone, a very tanky unit here, just walking into the main base of TY. The Raven does pop with enough energy to do something to the Cyclone. It could go Interference Matrix if he really wanted to, or even drop an auto turret maybe.
Yeah.
He decides to save the energy and just rely on his units to get the job done, which they do.
All right, solid defense overall, and like you pointed out, you know, he has this Raven. It's a nice defensive play to go with his quicker command center, and with the double Cyclone coming out, he can definitely block Maru's Banshee, but Maru, this is something we forget about him from time to time. He's one of the best Banshee harassers ever to have lived. From the very beginning in Wings of Liberty, this guy will rally Banshees to your base for much longer than you expect and do a lot more damage than you're ready for.
Yeah, you're very right. I didn't even think about that, but you're making me remember all these times in GSL where the Banshees just kept coming. They would not stop, and the SCV counts just kept getting up there and up there. And see, Maru got spotted on the far right of the map there, so he just taking a different path. In fact, delaying the Banshee, keeping TY guessing here as he's taking his third base. Because if he knows that he's like being a little bit tricky with his Banshee, TY's not going to be across the map trying to fight him right now because he needs to deflect this Banshee and mitigate the damage.
There are few things that will deal damage to your mineral line as quickly as a Banshee, so smart of him to sit home. The Cloaked Banshee goes in, sees that everything is ready for it. The other Banshee come to the other side. Look at that.
No Raven here.
He does have a Raven. It's right there.
No, well, it's just a ride. He said to float over from the main.
Does he have one Raven or 2 Ravens?
Just the one, I think.
Okay. Oh, 2.
2, wow.
All right, well, this Banshee actually is still getting a lot of kills. Look at that, 6 kills, despite the fact he has a Raven waiting for it.
He has everything he needs to stop Banshees, but somehow they just find damage. It's amazing.
Yeah, Maru Banshees, man, we were talking about it.
And a Maru push here as well.
Yeah.
A bunch of Marines and a Siege tank with this. TY has his own Siege tank up. He has Defender's advantage as well, of course, but this is still a little scary here. This Cyclone's quite a lot of linebacker potential. TY has more Cyclones than Maru, I believe, so can bring them all to the front lines and really sure it's going to take this very seriously here. The Banshee's going to dive on that tank and gun it down.
Well, actually doing a great job. Interference Matrix going down, throwing down an auto turret as well.
Yeah. The
this
power of the Raven. Power of the Raven, yeah. So clean there from TY, taking very little damage. He lost a tank, and I think that's it.
I am like so impressed with how well he defended against that. Like TY showing just how strong he is in this matchup. Of course, Maru continuing to try to keep pressure on. He's taken a third behind this, which is really cool to see. Trying to get ahead in that regard. Don't think TY can really come up here right now, though, just chasing him home.
Not at the moment, but it can sort of be annoying to Maru here over the left side with that base. I like that both the Ravens are here with this army as well because the Banshees have been pulled all the way back from Maru, and it takes a while for them to get across the map. He's forcing a lift up on the CC, which is very nice for TY. He has to do stuff like this because, of course, we can see he doesn't have a third at the moment back at home.
Look at this, how careful Maru is being here. He obviously has enough units that he could break through here, but with the Ravens in the sky, a lot of things can go wrong.
In fact, looking like Maru wants to drop Interference Matrix on this Siege tank and take it off, and he should very easily here.
Yeah, very well done. A nice lock on that Raven. He flies it just out of range, though. Does end up saving it. So, another good defense. These guys really tit for tat so far.
It's a very, very close game. TY, I guess, with a little bit more of an advantage, just a little bit more saturation there, a little bit more army supply, but actually a big advantage for TY is that his stim is so much earlier than Maru's. Can't believe how late Maru's stim is.
Yeah, I think this just kind of goes back to openings. If we remember, it was quicker tech, more harassment-based units like Cloaked Banshees coming out of Maru, whereas TY, he wanted the quicker base up. He was kind of focusing more on getting into that macro game, and because of that, his mid-game looking very strong with this army move out.
Well, this is a great timing attack here. +1 attack done for the Marines, stem done as well. Interference Matrix on these tanks. Wow. They're not doing any damage to the bio just yet, but this CC's in big trouble.
Yeah, it really is a ton of damage being put down. He's trying to repair it right now. Maybe we'll see another Interference Matrix come out. No, it looks like his tank actually just connecting with the tank of Maru.
And even with he doesn't kill the CC, but even forcing it to lift up, it's great for TY with that third back at home and all those workers mining for him right now. Maru trying to retake it, but TY has not left yet. And another Interference Matrix on that tank. TY pounces, takes it out from Maru. And now Maru with auto turret's going to try and pick this fight. Oh, it's just Interference Matrix everywhere. The Ravens of TY being too much better than Maru's.
Wow, TY has really gained a lot of value with these units. The Marines and Marauders coming up right now will eventually chunk through the Marines and now the Siege tank, so Maru can retake his third. And all this time, TY mining out of his own third.
He certainly is, and all of his upgrades are just a little bit quicker. He's got 1-1 finishing up. He's got Combat Shield and Stim done while Maru's still working on both those things. TY in a pretty lovely spot here.
Yeah.
Looks like the turret might have picked off the Banshee, one of the Banshees of Maru as well. Well, we missed that.
Well, hopefully that's what it was. I hope it wasn't a command center that floated over there and died. That would be a huge kill.
Damn. It'd be the first time I've ever seen that happen.
Ah, well, we missed it, so we don't really know,
man. We don't really know, yeah.
We'd have to check the replay.
Could have been a proxy starport. Could have been a proxy anything.
Could they?
Oh, well, we have Maru sort of, he's throwing in Marauders in here, which can be quite nice against, you know, the mech units here of TY. They're a little bit beefy, they're a little bit tankier, but I gotta say, I much prefer to have a high number of Marines with my tanks here versus just having a few Marauders. They're a little bit more expensive, and they just don't have a whole lot of DPS.
Yeah, like, Marauders die to Marines, basically. They definitely kill off tanks and buildings and things like that, and, I mean, it's Maru, so to see some extra Marauders is not, you know, an unlikely thing.
Marauders.
There are when he uses them, man.
That's right.
Yoan might be
oh
the king
my
of
god,
Marines,
that's actually really, really nice. If you guys that don't know, the Armor Shredder Missile, even if they have 0 armor, it'll put them on -2. So they take a lot more damage from bio infights. So that's a very, very powerful ability. Been seeing it a lot here in Katowice, and it looks like TY is actually threatening the main base of Maru here. The tanks might be in range of one of those production facilities.
Kind of a nice little siege up here, really threatening Maru. Looks like he wants to drop some Marines onto the high ground here. That interference matrix once again going off. And oh, a great anti-armor missile pulling back into siege tank range as well.
TY's lost a lot of his Marines, which is sort of the buffer here for this tank, but hold that door. They've got a big attack here at the third base, picking off that one tank. Maru out of position. He's going to lose a lot of SCVs here.
Oh my god, a huge amount of damage being done to his economy. It looks like that attack in the main base was just a ruse. This,
Ooh,
okay.
Does get it. Well, that's, you know, a consolation prize for Maru, but losing their 7 SCVs really does suck. TY is up, and Workers has been for quite a while here. Somehow that tank lives with 1 hit point. Oh my god.
Wow. All right, well, that's a TY pullback right there. So, yeah, I'll just unsiege it now to have 1 hit point and get home. Well, 2-2 on the way for both sides. TY a little bit ahead in that, just as he's a little bit ahead in Workers and, well, a lot of bit ahead in Army right now. He's taken his 4th base. We don't see that from TY quite yet because, well, or from Maru quite yet because TY's keeping this pressure on.
Yeah, how do you take your 4th when he keeps getting dropped here? This is a massive flank for Maru, though. This could be a game-winning move from him. Anti-armor missile on the Marines in the front, but he does have this massive surround. TY starting to barrel through the front line, gets rid of a couple of those tanks. No, nice pick-up micro there from Maru to keep that tank alive.
And a great runaway here from TY, who continues to do some harassment damage here in the main base. Still not cleaning up this drop. Maru has got to get in there. Loses 11 workers.
At least going to get the medevac one more time here. But TY is getting value for money with all of these drops and hitting in several places at once. His lead keeps getting extended further and further and further every time he goes for a play.
Yeah, he's still a good 20 army supply up right now. Stimming, running forward. Maru coming up for the defense on this 3rd base.
Got that tank instantly here. Another one in target range here, but TY moves back. The Marauders and the Marines of Maru trying to close the distance. They do find the tank line of TY. They do get rid of the tanks, but does TY have enough to push through? It doesn't look like it. Maru actually might be able to clean all of this up if he rallies everything here.
Yeah, good defense here overall. And look at that, those few Marauders definitely helping with the tanking a little bit at least, picking off the siege tank as well. TY gonna have to back up.